So this says do elimination. What does elimination mean is going to happen? Get rid of, eliminate, cancel out. So when you look at this first one, are the x's going to eliminate or the y's? X. Okay, so what you're going to do is draw a line. Boom, they're gone. And the answer is going to sort of just fall into your lap. When you add this, you're going to get 6y equals 12. Very good. Divide by 6. Y is 2. See, that wasn't bad at all. All right. Now, when you go to write your ordered pair, where does the 2 go? The first spot or the second? The second one. And to be real honest, that's enough work for me. I'm good with you using the calculator to get the X part. Now, when I'm typing, your job is to watch and make sure I don't mess it up. Because if I mess it up, then the whole thing is wrong. And I actually did mess something up there. I didn't even do it on purpose. But do you see what the problem is? Yeah, I put T instead of X or Y. What should it be? Y? T is next to Y. There we go. What's our point? 2, 2. Lovely. Let's do another one. That went really well. Let's keep that going. All right. Now this one, which variable M or N like almost eliminates, but not quite, like it's close. Yeah, the M's. Do you see that? Here's what we're going to do. Good. And you're right, but can I get everybody there? We're going to copy the first one over. Hey, Miss Cole, it looks like you just rewrote it. Sure did. Please don't be lazy. Do that. Don't be too proud to write it down. All right. The other one, and I heard somebody say it already, we're going to multiply by a -1. Why on earth would we do that? Yeah, to get it to be a negative. Basically, everything in that second equation is just going to flip-flop. You're going to have -2m plus 7n equals +14. It all just flip-flopped. And now the exact same thing is going to happen that we did in number 1. Draw your line. The M's eliminate, and then the answer is going to kind of just fall into your lap. When you add the columns, what are you going to get here? So 2n equals what? I know you're with me. I'm just checking over here. -6 plus 14 is 8. And then divide by 2, n is 4. Now, when you write your ordered pair, I don't like that this was M and N. I didn't make this. You just go in alphabetical order. M comes before N. So M is going to take the place of X. N is going to take the place of Y. So when I write my ordered pair, where does the 4 go? Yeah, the second one. And I'm going to share my screen and type this in. I need for you to just watch. It's not going to do it with M's and N's. So I'm going to change the M's to X's and the N's to Y's. Because otherwise, it's not going to graph with M and N. All right. And do you see how I'm typing the original one? 14. All right. So my intersection is right here. 7, 4. And that also reinforces that our 4 is correct. If you go and type it in and you don't get what your work says you got, then you made a mistake somewhere, probably a negative sign. You just go back and fix it. Now over here, we are going to have to do another adjustment. I think Y would be easier to do than X. It doesn't actually matter, and you can do you, but I think Y will be easier. If this is a -2, I need this one to be +2. So we're going to multiply the first equation by 2. Where'd that 2 come from? We came up with our brain. You have to come up with that, because the most common question I get is, where did that 2 come from? You have to like reach deep down inside and figure out how you have to adjust it. All right, so I believe in my heart you can multiply by 2. What's that going to give us for the first? Yeah, 4x, good. 2y, beautiful, thank you. The second one, you're going to just copy over. We didn't have to change that one. Sometimes you do have to change them both to make it work, but in this case, we didn't have to. So the y's eliminate. That was kind of the point. Add your columns. Your answer is going to kind of fall into your lap. What do we get here? Yep. 7x good equals 14. Divide by 7. X equals 2. Lovely. So when you make your ordered pair, where does the 2 go? Yeah, the first one. And now when I go to type this in, I'm going to type the original problems, like before we changed anything. So 2x plus y equals, that's not what I meant to do, equals 5. And then, what is this? 3x minus 2y equals 4. So when I click here, did we get 2 for x? We did, 2 comma 1. All good on elimination. Everybody that was like, hey, I forgot how to do this, do you remember now? That's it. Elimination is not that bad. Substitution. This is the one we did that little activity around the room. You have to substitute. That means replace. I would get y by itself in this one. How come I would do that? Like, why am I picking y? It's easier. You want to pick the easy one. What would you do to get y by itself for this equation? Good. Good job. Minus 3x. And to be real honest, I'm not going to rewrite it because I'm lazy. And honestly, the more times you rewrite something, the more likely it is you're going to make a mistake. Do you see how y is all by itself now? Y equals all of this. I'm going to take your silence as a yes. Do you see how y equals all that stuff? We're good? All right. You're going to take it and substitute it in for y in the other equation. This is the only step that's hard. And if you get this step, you're going to get the rest of it because you guys are good at solving equations. What am I going to write down? 3x, good, minus 4, parentheses, yeah, negative 3x, or negative 5 minus 3x, whatever order you wanted to put that in, really, it doesn't matter, equals negative 10. Beautiful. If you get that, you're going to get the rest of it. Because now you just solve an equation. You guys are good at that. First step, distribute. Not a 4, but a negative 4. Good. So it'll be 3x. Yours is in the other order than mine. Plus 20 plus 12x. You have 12x and then 20. Fine. The order doesn't really matter there. Equals negative 10. And then you add the like terms together. So what's that going to give us? Yeah, 15x plus 20 equals negative 10. Just keep going. Hey, enough. Everybody's actually being really quiet and focused right now, so I need you guys to jump on board. What's your next step? Minus 20, good. That'll be 15x equals negative 30. And you'll divide by 15. Does anyone know 30 divided by 15? If not, I'll tell you. Good, and it's negative as well, so negative 2. I like elimination better than substitution. I think we can agree substitution is way more work, isn't it? Okay. At the end of the day, the calculator will do it for you, though, so... Where does the negative 2 go? The first part, I'm going to go type it in, and we'll get y. All right, enough. And then this one is 3x plus y equals negative 5. All right, intersection, we got negative 2 comma 1. And again, when you type that in, that reinforces that all your work was correct because we got negative 2 for x. Look at number 5. Which variable, x or y, is going to be easier to get by? Do you see how x will be easier? You guys outnumber me. I'm trying to talk to all of you at once. Sorry, we all together. X would be a whole lot easier. What would you do to get x by itself? Subtract 2y. And I'm not even going to rewrite it because the more times you rewrite something, the more likely it is you're going to make an error. But do you guys see how x is alone now? That was like the point. So you're going to take the 7 minus 2y and do what with it? Sub it in for x. Good. In the other equation. So what are we going to write down? 2. 8y. Nice. Perfect. That activity we did around the room really reinforced that for you guys. I think I just like finally drilled it into you enough that we got it. So you remove x, replace it with 7 minus 2y. And then you just solve. Distribute the 2. That's going to be 14 minus 4y. You writing this down with me? It looks like not. You know, I went to a seminar once. You know when you guys have a day off and we do what's called professional development? They talk to us about like being good teachers and such. I got something really good out of one of those seminars. They said the person that does the work is the one that learns. So if I do all the work, who's learning? and I don't need to learn it because I already know it. So essentially, no one. You have to do the work in order to learn. All right. Minus 8y equals 8. And that's why I try to make this a conversation. I'm trying to sort of just guide you through it instead of just going, this is the next step. What is the next step? That's always how I phrase it.
The common variable.
Yeah. Like terms, common variables. Negative. Now be careful because they're both negative. -4 and -8 will be negative 12. Count on your fingers. Minus 12y equals 8. Almost there. 2 more steps. What's next? Yeah, minus the 14. That's also going to be negative. We're going to get negative 12y equals negative 6. Good. Nice job. Now, good. Do you see how there's 2 negatives? They're going to cancel. And how would, so it's going to be positive. And how would you reduce 6/12? 1/2. Good. Thank you. We got a fraction. Does that mean the world's ending? No, it's fine. You can get a fraction. So when you write your ordered pair, where's the 1/2 gonna go? The second one, and then I'm gonna type this in and we'll get x. Your job is to watch to make sure I don't mess it up because I already messed up one so far. And again, do you notice how I'm typing the original problem? That's what you want to do. Y equals 8. So let's see if we got a 1/2. Did we get a 1/2? It doesn't actually say 1/2, but 0.5 is 1/2. So 6, comma a half. I'm going to just type this last one in because I think that we've done a whole lot of work on this front page. Can we agree? Yeah. So, but I mean, did you all write? All right. So I'm going to, I believe you. You were writing that down with me. All right, so let me type in this 2y equals, because I think this one comes out weird if I'm remembering correctly. That's 2. Oh, look at that. What do you think? Parallel, which means our answer is no solution because they do not intersect. So real quick, if I had, hold on, let me finish this thought. If I had you, are you all listening to me? If I had you work it out by hand, how would we have known it was no solution? We would have ended up with something like what? Yeah, like 2 equals 7, you know what I'm saying? Or like 5 equals -3, like something that doesn't make any sense. Do you want to put in your times? Go ahead. All right, systems. Let's go ahead and type this in. Y equals -6. Let me just go ahead and type that. Do you remember Hoy Bucks?
Yeah.
Hoy would be which way? Y, and it's horizontal. So we're expecting a horizontal. Was this -6? Yeah, good. Y equals -6. Look at that. A horizontal line at, oh my gosh, go figure. Where is it? -6. Go ahead and draw that on your paper. I can't have my paper and my calculator up here at the same time. Well, I mean, you can kind of see it in this little box off to the side, but just count down 6. And draw yourself a horizontal line. And then I'm going to type in the other one and we'll look for a couple of pretty points. You really only need 2 points to keep your slope going. So here's the other line. Let me zoom in just a little bit. Do you see a pretty point? Something nice? 2. Yeah, 0, 2. Again, I can't have my paper up here at the same time, so you're going to have to like listen and follow along. 0, 2. And then let's find one more. You really only need one more. Do you guys see that? Are you gonna look? 1, -2. I can't really land exactly on it, but you see, oh, there, I almost had it. Do you see that there?
Yeah.
1, -2. Okay. So I'm going to plot 1, -2. And then could you keep the pattern going? How much down and over? Yeah, down 4 over 1. So just keep, if you can count to 4, you can do it. Down 4 over 1. The calculator does it for you. This test is always a really good grade for everybody because the calculator does so much of it for you. Type it in. Did it work? And then your answer is this point, which is what, comma, what? 2, -6. Good job. Don't forget to write your answer. I do have that happen. Sometimes people will draw the graph and then not put an answer. Make sure you put an answer, right? Let's do the next one. We're going to use our calculator. It's the exact same thing. Again, I can't have my calculator and my paper at the same time, so you're gonna have to look and listen. All right, x plus y equals 2. Do you see some pretty points? Yeah, 2, and then actually also 2 on the x-axis. Shh. So let me go ahead and plot those. So I've got 2 here, and then I've got 2 here. What's your slope? It's going down how much over how much? Yeah, and it's down 2 over 2. You could also just do down 1 over 1. Do you see what I'm saying? Slope is -1. Now, I don't know where these are going to intersect, which is why you need to keep it going. It needs to be perfect or you're not going to get the intersection correctly. If you can count to 1, you can do it. Stick with me, guys. You guys are doing really well today. When we finish this page, we'll do our break. All right, the other one, 2y minus x equals 10. Can we find some pretty points on this one? Let's see. 5 is where it starts, so you can plot 0, 5. And then do we see another one? I think 2, 6. I know what you meant though, but do you see that right there? 2, 6, this one? So it's going up how much over how much?
1 over 2.
Up 1 over 2, slope of a half. 2, 6. And then you can just keep going up 1 over 2. Again, like your slope instinct should kick in there. If you can count to 2, you can do it. This point is your answer. So what is that ordered pair? -2, is it 4? Perfect. Cool. Draw a system with no solution. Something like that. They're not going to intersect, parallel. What would it look like for infinite solutions? On top of each other. So it would look like one line. Is what that would look like. Do you guys remember your quadrants? Have you learned your quadrants? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so here's your quadrants. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. So draw a solution or draw a system with a solution in quadrant 3. That just means you want them to intersect in quadrant 3. So I don't know, something like this. You see how I made them intersect in quadrant 3? That's all that means. Now, you guys have done really well with these word problems. I'm really proud of you with this. Kind of just steal all the numbers from the problem. So let's read. Youth group is visiting Mammoth Cave. 2 adults and 5 students paid 77. Put it together. What's our equation going to be for that first part? I literally just read it to you.
2 plus
Well, 2. Hey, guys in the back there. 2x. Good.
5y equals 77.
Good job. 2x plus 5y equals 77. So adult is going to be x and student is going to be y if you want to label. Adult is x, student is y. Now you got to get another equation. So can you just keep reading and find 2x? What was it, 95? And I'm going to go put that in the calculator. I'm doing all this typing for you, but you guys know how to type these, right? Hey, don't lose focus. We're only going to do one more. Hey, I don't see the graphs. What does that mean? Yeah, you have to zoom out because 77 and 95 were pretty big numbers. Did I type it right? Does that look okay? All right, so here's our intersection. Adult cost how much? $9. And students cost 11. I feel like I messed something up though. That doesn't seem right. Yeah, I think I messed something up. Did I type something wrong? Hold on.
No, I think it's
That's right. What's that? Okay, thank you. I was gonna say something is not right. There we go. That makes a little bit more sense. Okay, there we go. Sorry. I was like, something does not seem correct there. Do you ever like feel like it's wrong? Sorry, guys. But hey, Do you see how if you type one thing wrong, the whole thing is wrong? You gotta be really careful. All right, 16 for adult and then 9 for student. That doesn't seem fair, but you know, all right. All right, a test has, are you listening? A test has 20 questions. That means X plus Y equals 20. Do you understand why that's the equation? There are a total of 20 questions, so X plus Y equals 20. All right, now we're going to do the points. True, false are 3 points each. So I'm going to write 3X plus, now I don't want to read to you, that teaches you to not read. Can you find 11Y equals 100 because it's a total of 100 points. Now, I think it's really silly that a multiple choice question would be worth 11 points, but it's just a math problem. Go with it. Do you guys see where that all came from? Yeah. Total of 20 questions, 3X plus 11Y equals a total of 100. So let me go ahead and type it. Please make sure I don't type anything wrong because that's unfortunate if I just type it wrong. How would you like it if you lost 11 points for missing a multiple choice question? That'd be awful. All right, so 15 true and false and 5 multiple choice. So at least there were only 5 of them. All right, so flip over. We're on 13. So this says X plus 2Y equals 0. Are you here with me? We're together. X plus 2Y equals 0. And 3X plus 4Y equals 4. What do you think I'm going to do with those? I type it in the calculator, all right? So can you all watch? Hey, we're going to focus, okay? X, oh, oops, sorry. I can see it, so that happens to me a lot. I apologize. All right, X plus 2Y. Please stop talking. It's a respect thing. Shh. 3X plus 4Y equals 4. So you see how I just typed that in? All right, I'm going to click on the intersection. What do we get? 4, negative 2. All right, so on the paper, I'm going to write X equals 4, Y equals negative 2. The reason I didn't write it as an ordered pair is because I'm getting asked another question. It's not the final answer. I have to actually do something else. We want 5X plus Y. Well, what did we find that X is? 4. So it's going to be 5 times 4 plus Y, which is negative 2. Now you could use the calculator, but I think, do we know 5 times 4? 5 times 4 is 20. So we get 20 minus 2, which is 18. So that's your final answer. Are you okay? You got your water there. All right. Can you please be quiet? If a system is graphed with 2 lines that have the same slope, but they start in different places, then it's going to look like this. They have the same slope. Can you just keep your mouth closed and it won't make that noise? So how many solutions are there? None. 0 solutions. No solution. If a system is graphed same slope and same y-intercept, it's going to look like this. You get a line and then you get another line that is in the exact same place. So remember that? Infinite. All right. If a system is graphed with 2 intersecting lines, so it would look like that, then there is what? One solution. One answer. All right. That's enough with our equations. Now we're going into the inequalities. How do you know if it is a dotted or a solid line? If you look at yeah, the symbol. So like this one would be what? Dotted. And this one would be solid. All lines are straight by definition. Saying straight line is redundant. All right, so what I'm going to do is share my screen. This is the lesson where we shaded them in. Do you remember I gave you colored pencils and we shaded? Yeah. Okay. Can you find me some pretty points? Yeah, -4, so 0, -4, and then also
4.
4, 0. So do you see how it's up 1 over 1?
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and plot those. It's dotted. Now, if you accidentally connect it and you forget to make it dotted, you can just write the word dotted next to it. That's fine with me. I'm okay with that. And is it shaded in above or below? Above. Do you see that there? So shade it, but like lightly, okay? Not like too aggressively, because we want the overlap. So shade it in, but not like, like this. What's that? It was 1. It was up 1 over 1. We had a point at 0, -4, and then 4, 0. So it's just by ones. And then I'm going to type the next one, and we're going to find a couple of pretty points. 2x plus y is less than or equal to. I love that the calculator will do so much of this for you, but it's when I'm up here teaching it, I'm here, watch me type stuff. All right, do you see some pretty points? It's 0, 2. Good job. And then 1, 0. So what's your slope? Down 2 over 1. Good job. Please be quiet. That's how we want to say that. All right, so down 2 over 1. What kind of a line was it? Dotted or solid is what I'm looking for. It was solid. So solid line. Please stop it. You don't have to say every thought that comes in your head. All right, and then was it shaded in above or below? Below. Do you see how it's said? So look, I'm going to shade lightly below it. And your answer is where the two shadings overlap. So do you see how that's this section right here? So you want to just kind of like extra bold in that section. Now, I mistyped this. The next one, it says circle the points that are part of the solution for 19. I meant 17, the one we just did. Okay, so we're going to circle all the points that are part of that extra overlap. So is 0, 0 in the answer?
Yes.
Yes, we want that one. How about 1, 1? No, it is outside of that. Now 0, 2 is on the line. Does it count or not? It does count because it's on a solid line. 0, 2 right here. Do you see where I'm pointing? If it's on a solid line, it counts. Then it doesn't. And I think the next one actually is 1, -3. Do you see how this right here and it's on the dotted line? So that does not count. And then how about -1, 4? It's on a solid line, so it counts. When would the intersection count? If they're both solid. So the intersection only counts if they're both solid. All right. Oh, last one. Circle the two inequalities that form this system. We are going to use the calculator, but you'd have to like mix and match a whole mess of these. It's going to take forever. So I'm going to sort of like make an educated guess before I start typing in. So I'm going to look at this solid one first. Can you look? Where does this solid one start? What point are we starting at? 5. Hey guys, look. And it looks like it goes up 5 over 3. Do you see how I'm finding that? Right. Okay. So this line is 5/3 x plus 5. Again, I am going to use the calculator, but if you start trying to mix and match all of these, it's going to take you forever. So we're going to try and make an educated guess. So I want to look for a 5/3 x plus 5 that would have a solid line. So this one's a contender. Do you see that? Is there another one? Oh, actually, there's not. So it has to be that one. Now, hold on, because after we figure out the other one, we're going to put it in the calculator to check. Now, let's look at this one. Where does it start? 3. Do you guys all see that there? 3. And I think that one's the other way. Is it up 3 over 5? I think for that one. Like up 3 over 5. Are you seeing that? Okay, so if I put that together, what's the equation for that one? Up 3 over 5. So 3 over 5x plus 3 is where it starts. Okay, and I want it to be a dotted line. So let's see if we can find one like that. The first one is 3/5 x plus 3. It would be a dotted line. Do we have another one that's like that? Yeah, okay. Do you see these two? So let me cross out the ones that it isn't. But do you see how these two, either one could be it? So watch. just watch me. I'm gonna go and put the one that we're sure is correct in the calculator. Look at, this is so easy. It'll do it for you. 5/3 x, x plus 5. That's the one we're sure is right. Let me put this back to home so 0 is in the middle. So I'm going to type the first one. Are you guys listening back there? Less than 3/5 x. I did it again. Plus 3. Does that look like what's on our paper? No, it doesn't, because where should the extra shaded overlap part be? Do you see how this slice right here is the extra shaded part? Are you looking? Because a whole bunch of you said yes, and that's not the answer. Do you see how this is the extra shaded part? All right, so let me type the other one. I think the symbol just went the other way, right? There. Okay, but look, that didn't go well. Do you see how this is the answer and not the other one? Yes, okay. So we're going to circle this one.